Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever, wherever you are, welcome back to another Lego building video. So, we're back to building the Tantive 4. I'm sorry, it's been a week since my last video. I've been busy and trying to enjoy the weather, and as you can see, I kind of already separated the pieces. So, let's get to building this episode. It seems to be that we'll be building the body. If this is the first video you're clicking on, I'll tell you we're building the Tantive 4, a ship from the series from the Star Wars franchise. That's what I'm trying to say. The Tantive 4 is a ship that you see in, I believe, A New Hope and Rogue One. It's the ship famously known for being Princess Leia's ship that we see her use in A New Hope. In that movie, we see her running from Darth Vader's Imperial ship and getting caught. And there's a whole Lego set of the hallway scene from that movie. But for us, we're building the model ship. So let's begin with the build, or rather, continue on with the build. So finally, there's some pieces here to add some support to those wings, because without it, these wings tend to snap off underneath here. And the next piece I already built ahead of time because I skipped the instructions. And this slides underneath in that little gap that's added into here. It's been a beautiful week, this past couple of weeks. We've had some great sunshine, some great rain, a drop in temperatures that we have all been waiting for. And winter is finally around the corner, and fall is finally here. And I am just trying to enjoy the most of it, you know? Spring, fall and spring, those are my two favorite seasons. Why? Because they're cool. They are they are cool, relaxing weather. I don't have to run in the sun. I don't have to fight a heat stroke. I don't have to put on such a heavy jacket yet. So it's a nice thing to enjoy. So once I believe this is the body, and the next episode will be the stand. After that, uh, it'll be interesting to see what we decide next. I know some folks in the comments have suggested building in Lego Fortnite. That would be nice. Um, and I will absolutely consider those options because building in those games is not really my forte. I I don't know what it is, but it's like video games versus this. This feels more right to me. But you know, we'll give it a shot, right? The big thing I want to do though is play Monster Hunter, and I'll be making videos on that. You are welcome to watch those. You are welcome to skip past them. But it's a game that I haven't played since I was a kid. And to me, it'd be nice to get back into the series and see what it's all about. Because I was young when I first played it, and I definitely would like to revisit it. So let me know what you think. Oh, I did this wrong. I did this wrong and I jumped ahead again. Someone has got to call me out on this. So I'm going to have to use a separator. Grab this flat piece with the two studs on top. Attach those on both sides of the undercarriage of the ship. That goes there. That goes there. So it sits kind of like that. So far what we've added is this piece under here. I'm guessing this is the holder or just part of the ship. Then the undercarriage. So let's continue on, shall we? And add the cylinder in front of that so it sits right here. Ah, where has this year gone? Am I right, folks? Feels like it's over as quick as it started. And I still haven't finished everything I wanted to do this year. But there's always next year. Okay. And oh, it seems like we're building the turret on this one. So 90-degree angles. Or I'd like to go a bit past that and go about 45. No, more than 90, so there we go. So there we have the bottom cannon, or sets of cannons. And continuing on to build and attach these cylinders. I kind of wish that it would really show you how these attach. There you go. So this has to fit in to where these studs are. I know it's not great quality to see the detail on it, but it sits flush and covers all those studs there. And you do that to the other side as well. So those studs, it'll cover all of these, but sit on these back three. Or I guess I should say just sit on those two that were on this side. I'm looking at everything upside down. So there you go. Got those two there, that there, the bottom turret there. Up next, I'm guessing are the door hatches for that. So you start separating out pieces for that. And with the holiday season right around next week, I hope you guys have a lot of things planned, a lot of good things planned. Spending time with your families if you're from the US during this Thanksgiving week. And those of you not from the US, I hope you're preparing for the Christmas week. That will be here before we know it. It will be a busy one, I know that. So, seems like they all sit together inside out. The peg slides through completely with it sitting out a bit. Guessing it'll be stopped by whatever's here. Yep, if you just push the peg through the build, it'll set flush against the back plate here and kind of stick out there, so you won't have to worry about it sticking out. So to show exactly what I did, it gives you a gear and I guess a connector, and you insert the connector onto this side like that and push it in so it sits flush. Then take this red flat disc, set it on top so it faces outward, Then take the rod, stuff it through the top, or what is considered the top, through till it sits flush. And as you push it into here, it will push back and that piece, that rod, will sit out a bit. So that'll be a great piece. And since it's just a rod, you can adjust it to make sure it fits symmetrically on both sides, like I do. Make sure that they sit perfectly. And now we turn her back over and focus on the top. So attach this black connector piece on top through the hole. It sits there flush like that, like a mast on a ship. Take this, I don't know what this is called, but it's a piece like this, and slides through on top. And I guess, okay, circles facing front and back of the ship. And then, oh, this is building and the satellite dish. I don't know what it is actually on the ship, but it's a dish, and it's an important piece of the ship, no less. And it's all kind of like that. So when you find so that's the satellite or dish or satellite dish. See, this is why you don't quit school. So sits like that. Set that off to the side as we build, I'm guessing, the base plate. Man, this stuff always takes me back. It's fun. And I do encourage folks, if you want to do a nice little project, or either do this or whatever else you feel like doing, just don't stay focused on work. You'll burn yourself out real fast. Right? So then it stays upside down. This piece sits over like that, and then it reinforces underneath. There we go. And take a brown piece, sit it on top of this one. So it sits like that. So you start building it, it starts looking like that almost. I'm guessing these two hinges will hook into the side of the ship where we have those other hinge pieces. I'll turn the ship around to show. Those four hinges right there, or eight, I should say, is where this piece will sit. Which side? I don't know. Not yet. But it's always fun to see how it's designed in the end. Flips over, and the cones are every other piece. Okay, and this one attaches to the under of the left side facing the point, or the, let's see how this piece, this edge faces towards this, towards the front. It should click in with a slight snug feeling to it, and it angles. So you attach it in, sits like that, and it angles a little bit, just boop, and it gives it that look that you see in the movies, or any of the diagrams that you see of the ship. And it seems like you repeat the process 4 times. If you ask me, it feels kind of extensive to do it 4 times. But that's how we get the design we want out of this ship. So, who am I to say what is too much, what isn't too much? It's beautiful in the end. All that work pays off for the quality, detailed design. Just like anything else we do. Work hard, and you will bear the fruits of the labor. Okay, that attaches. I really probably should have organized these a bit more. There we go. It's always good to keep track of where your pieces are. Oh, so it seems like these are the escape pods because there's a space where one should be. So isn't that interesting? So this is basically another scene from the movie, which I didn't know that was where the escape pods were located, and one is missing. For those of you who have seen the movie, you know what happened to it. For those of you who haven't, well, I would recommend asking someone who has and is willing to tell you and who is not going to be shocked you haven't watched Star Wars. But there we go. That is the bottom of the ship. Now we will be working on the top section, I assume. Building what's left of detailed design. Sorry I keep pausing, I just keep losing my train of thought. I don't know where it keeps going, but I still remember running around with these. Not this specific set, but a bunch of other sets as a kid on Christmas. This this franchise was one of my biggest and most favorites growing up, and I've mentioned that a couple times, if not countless times on this channel. But I can remember all those times as a kid, running around, turning my house into just a war zone, picturing myself on a distant planet, fighting for, well, fighting for whatever army I was siding at the time. Typically, I was a fan of the Republic and the Rebellion. What changed to me in siding with the Empire was probably the fact of how cool they were. Everyone has a favorite villain. Some people like Harley Quinn, some people like, well, but hardly. Some people like the Joker, if that's a better defined villain. Everyone has a character they enjoy, or an enemy whose cause they believe in, or they like to see because of their infamous nature. And the Empire to me was just one of those groups that was like always cool to find on the screen. It's like every time you saw them, you know stuff was about to get real. And this attaches on top, and oh, you have to balance the angle between both of them so they sit flush together. And I guess we build the other side, but I remember always trying to make a bigger army, bigger collection. Growing up, I always wanted an entire faction war, a whole army of clone troopers just to fight an imaginary army of droids. And it was fun. I mean, that's where a lot of my great memories were, was building an army and battling them out against others. Righty, so these two sit up here. That sits there. That sits there. It's always tricky when you have to angle these things. So you have to get a reference point for where to angle them so that they look symmetrical on both sides. I don't know if they're supposed to be, but again, for me, I like them being symmetrical. Makes it easier on my brain. Okay, let's see if I can get this piece to sit in. And I think that sets in right. That's strange how this one doesn't move. This one does. Okay, well, she sits in there just fine. And what's left is to only build the top turret now. Alright, there we go. Slides on top, just about as pretty as the one on the bottom. And I believe, yep, that's it, folks. That is the Tantive 4 in its entirety. Give me a moment. That is the entire ship. All that it will be next episode is just building the stand and showing it side by side, the Executioner and the Invisible Hand. And from the looks of it, I think the Executioner has this one beat, but the Invisible Hand is slightly smaller than this one. So, thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings, or at least enjoyed watching this set be built, or what you could see. Hopefully, next video that we do, or the next series we do after this, will be something you folks will enjoy. If not, I thank you again for your time and for the opportunity to talk to you for so long. If you have anything you want to talk about, or hear me talk about, or see another Lego set we built, let me know, and I'll do my best to get to it. And I hope to see you again next time. So till then, stay safe and be cool.